Before we start the show, I would just like to thank everybody who has voted in our listener choice campaign for Campaign 10. Campaign 10 will be clueless actors in Candyland playing through the plot of Mortal Kombat with yours truly, Casey, here as the Dungeon Master. So, thanks again, everyone who voted, and I'm looking forward to Campaign 10. I have a lot of work to do. But for now, the next episode, Crit Sandwich. Welcome to Crit Sandwich. On Crit Sandwich, four friends play D&D loosely based on our favorite movies, shows, and games. This is episode 4 of Campaign 9 for this, our 9th campaign. We are a family playing through the plot of Jumanji in the setting of Ravenloft. My name is Casey Sears. I am playing Thomas Middlebury, who is playing Hogan the Savage, Prince of the Savage Land, son of King Hogan the Crusher, heir of Lord Hogan the Immortal. On my screen is Chuck Ventus.
Heidi ho, I am playing William Middlebury, who's also playing Tolkien Thunder Guy, grandfather of 2, master of the storm. That's it.
Also on my screen is Matt Popich.
Hey, I am playing Lila, who is the daughter of this crew and younger sister, I suppose, of Hogan. And Lila is playing Gunny, and she is a dancing, singing wizard, kind of.
We've also got Robbie Ponder, our Dungeon Master.
Hello. Thank you, Casey. So I'm just going to go over this again. I'll probably do this every beginning of every episode just to help everyone. Chuck is playing the old World War II vet, William. Casey, a savage teenager, and Matt, a young chess player. So we have an old Chuck, a teenage Casey, and a youngling Matt. Last episode, you guys started using your map, comparing it to what Madame Eva has told you, and that was a fantastic idea. Listeners, if you're wanting to follow along with what Madame Eva has said in the map, I recommend going to Crit Sandwich social media page. It should be posted on all our social media sites. I'm quickly going to read over what Madame Eva has said during her reading. I'm just going to do this really quickly, but I do recommend that you go on there for you can read it at your own pace and think about it. First, she said, go to the place of the leading star's dwelling and the drafts of the master. This item was already recovered by the party. It was the Tome of Strahd, and it was found in the Dungeon Master's notes, basically the DM module. Secondly, she said, I see a black hole in stone leading toward captives around towering blades. Third, I see a plot of Adam's wine in the shallows of Working Deep. Fourth, find the avenue leading to Peak in a tree with one nut. Look for the nut. Fifth, look for the wizard's companion. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to what you seek. And going over the places on the map, there's a lot of them. There's a farmland, there's a business area, water factory, there's a lake, a mine, the house where the adventurers live, a lake Swansea, a windmill, train station, library, World War II bunker, hospital, residential living, with a town hall, a church, a police fire station, a school, and a rec center. Lastly, you guys got to meet Ismark and decided that when Madame Eva said, follow the path that is marked, must mean follow Ismark. And while traveling with Ismark, you guys are currently investigating the area around the mine, wondering if it's a spot you're looking for. While looking around, you guys seen a corpse trapped in a net, dangling from a tree limb. And while Tolkien was looking at it, the wind blew the corpse as it began to turn to face him, and Tolkien seen himself there as William from the 1940-ish, as he looked when he served in World War II. Do you guys have anything you would like to add?
I have a horse named Piper.
Do you guys want to add anything about your character's background that we haven't gone over yet? Anything in your appearance? Example, Casey, your command word for your sword. Do we want to go over that any?
It is Rage Springa, and that is my character's personal quest is to gather as much gold and bring it, or as much treasure in general, and bring it home with him. And if I am the one of my siblings that has the most treasure when my father dies, I get to be his heir. Hogan is very compelled to just collect all of the treasure that he finds.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to some more treasure because I think all of you've been given so far is 1 gold piece.
Do we start off with gold? I know when we make characters, they have gold.
Yeah,
Should we just remove all that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can have that gold. That's fine. I don't actually think it will come into play.
It was only like 10 gold, but
Chuck or Matt, do you have anything you want to add? Or are you guys good?
I have a ram named Ramona.
yeah, I was going to say my ram's name is Ramsey.
I did want to add some history to the town that you guys live in because I've only lightly gone over it. To your guys' in-game characters, the town's name is Horn. You guys would remember that Ismark has called it Brovaria. Now, your guys' town Horn is known for producing fresh bottled water because the snow up on the mountain melts and it makes rivers that end in the Lake Alpsee and Swansea, 2 of the main lakes in your guys' town of Horn. And one of the main ingredients to producing the wine on your guys' farm is that water. You need, high quality water to make high quality wine. For traveling on the map, by the way, it's 10 minutes from place to place if you're on a mount, or an hour for walking. This again is episode 4. If you haven't listened to episode 3 of this campaign, please go back and do so. So it's currently early morning for you guys. You guys have only moved 1 space over from the map. And you're currently investigating the area around the mine. You guys are 30 feet south in the woods around the mines area. Casey, you are there with your horse. Your sword is drawn. You just cut that rope. What do you guys do?
So as that body falls to the ground and turns to dust, my eyes dart back and forth to Tolkien Thunder Guy and the pile of ashes. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, how does Tolkien feel about seeing himself? Like, I feel like that should be addressed.
I was just going to say, like, I would be shocked, but I don't think I would share it with you guys because you're my grandchildren. I don't think I would want you to know that I saw myself dead because I wouldn't want you to I feel like my job is like the grown up or like your elder. You're my responsibility in some sense, and I don't want to promote any fear or add to the fear of the situation. So I don't think I would share that I saw myself dead, but I would be very disturbed.
All right, so we don't really know that you had that vision of the corpse.
I believe that's correct. Yes, but
Fair
you would
enough.
probably see me pull out my my scroll and quill and make a note of that situation.
All right, so we know nothing about that. Okay, so our clue in this area.
So I'm thinking it might be find the avenue leading to the peak, to a tree with 1 nut. Look for the nut. Robbie, are we near the highest point in these mountains?
You are not. The mountains go so high, there's a light covering of mist around as you start going up so much higher. You could see it up there, and the mountains go past that misty area and even up past those dark clouds that you have seen.
I think we're heading up.
You don't think it's Well, I'm going to talk about this. Are we talking about this in character?
So Ismark is hanging on to Hogan on the back of the horse, and he still would pursue his avenue of he's wanting to go to town. And if you guys would, because you're saving him a lot of time because you guys have the mounts, so he's kind of still hanging around with you. But if you start going up to the mountain, he will tell you guys, if you guys start heading up that way, it's perfectly fine. I can get to town myself. I appreciate the ride here.
All right, but actually, before we do anything, I'd like to ask Ismark, what's the highest peak in all of Bavaria? Or Barovia, I mean.
Actually, I think Strahd purposely made his castle the highest peak. But if you're overhearing some of what you're saying, it sounds like what you guys are looking for are the mountain peaks, and there are mountain peaks around us everywhere down here to the southeast.
Thinking of that and finding the avenue leading to the peak, maybe that's the road to Strahd's castle. We might be in the wrong spot, so I'm going to say let's just follow Ismark and take him to town.
As you guys are kind of paused there, and you guys, are thinking, so there's some pausing of quietness. And Gunny, you hear lightly just a thunk sound, really very, very quietly. If you want to investigate that further, I can tell you more.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
You can do investigation or survival would work.
I happen to be good at investigation. And I rolled a 13 plus 7, so 20 burger.
Wow, that's quite a modifier. You've kind of heard it before. Some of the farm hands have chopped wood before, and you hear lightly that sound, but you're kind of thinking it's pretty far away, about 100 feet in further and up further.
Okay. And you mentioned I've heard this sound. Like, what does it sound like?
It's just a thunking sound of a couple pieces of wood falling. It's someone chopping wood in the woods.
That's split scatter.
Yep.
Okay. I will tell the party, guys, I hear something. Be quiet. Come this way. It sounds like wood splitting, like someone like chopping wood this way. And I'll motion for them to come with me.
Can I check out really quickly before moving, like the dust, like where the body fell?
Yeah.
Is there anything like in the dust, or is it just dust?
Investigation check, please. If you're just walking by it, like up on your horse or your ram, you're striding by it on your ram, or you're actually getting down there and like moving things around.
I would get off my ram and like sift through the dirt.
Okay. Then
I got an 18.
18. Yeah, you start looking around, and there's old clothing that's like been looks like it's been eaten by moss. The corpse is all that's left of is the skeleton and broken bones and the dust. But you're able to move a couple of things around, and you find this leather pouch that is not usable anymore. And inside the leather pouch, you find a golden chess piece of a king.
Like for a chessboard?
Yeah, for a chessboard, yes.
Oh, I thought you meant like a chest piece, like a grown human can wear. I was like,
yeah, I was like, in a tiny pouch?
No.
It's a magic pouch. It's magic.
A chess piece for playing chess, and it's the king.
I got you, Robbie. I heard that right.
So if you guys are starting to head up, which would be southeast into the woodline further, Ismark will say, are we just going to check out this sound, and then are we coming back? I really gotta get, I apologize if I may seem rude, but I gotta get going.
Yeah, I will hush him and be like, give us a minute just to look into this real quick, brother.
Yeah, he'll stay with you guys because, traveling on the mount, it saves him 1/10 of his time, so he will hang out with you guys.
And I will take out my bow, and I will sneak and stalk towards that sound.
Yeah, you start going that way. You start sneaking out toward there. Gunny, And Tolkien, do you guys do anything?
Yeah, we'll pursue. I'll sneak.
Yeah, I have to show them where it's at, so I'm sneaking as well.
I'll put the golden king chess piece in my pouch or whatever and follow behind them. Off of my ram, I guess. Are we like, yeah, I'll get off my ram and sneak. I don't think we can sneak on our mounts.
Okay, give me a group stealth check. Don't forget, Chuck, you have a disadvantage.
Let's try Chuck.
I know what I got.
17 plus 3, a 20 for Hogan.
Gunny got a 16 plus 3, 19.
And I, Tolkien Thunder Guy, got a 2 plus 0. A 2.
And is that rolling on D&D Beyond?
My 2? No, I rolled with my dice.
Oh, see, that's why. You should have rolled on D&D Beyond and rolled a crit. Who's leading the way? I assume Hogan's in the front, correct?
Yeah, I would be catching up to Gunny and then eventually taking point.
Okay, you guys can start hearing that sound getting louder and louder. And you're going up the hill too, so it's really hard to sneak around here. But Hogan and Gunny, you're able to get by pretty easily. But apparently your party member Tolkien has never snuck through the woods before. And he steps on some twigs and steps on leaves, not being very quiet at all. Casey, since you're leading that charge, you're leading that way, can you give me a survival check, please?
That is a 7 plus 3, 10.
The wind, the way it's blowing, it's not so much that you need to be worried about how loud you are. If it's a person, then you should be fine. But if there's any animals around here, the wind is pushing your scent in that direction.
The direction of the person that's chopping the wood?
Yes. So I don't know if it's upwind or
Oh.
downwind, but your guys' scent is going that way.
I mean, Hogan is an expert hunter, guys. He is a natural born outdoorsman, and he's been living his whole life doing this sort of thing. And he would recognize that. Do I have the opportunity to move in a way that would prevent it? Or are we just are we just shit out of luck no matter how we approach this? Whoever's up there can smell us.
Yeah, you are thinking in your head that you could go the other direction, but whatever would be there has probably already gotten your scent.
Ah, gotcha.
I mean, humans chop wood, though. I mean, so it's the human down there. I mean, you don't know humans have like a good, keen sense of smell, unless he has like a dog with him. That could be an issue.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, Hogan is, he's a hunter. He's going to be careful. So I'm going to be extra careful with an arrow notched. And if something attacks me, I'm going to fire back.
Okay. Yeah. You guys continue further along. And as you get up there, you can see the area where there has been some chopped wood, but there's nobody there anymore. But what you do see, Gunny, in the corner of your eye, and then as you focus on it, you can tell that it's a wolf and it's running toward the backside of one of these mountain areas. So it's going over to behind some rocks and then ran to what would be the west, but you're right.
Yeah, I definitely relay that to the team.
What else do you guys do?
So are we at this clearing where this person was chopping wood? What else is there?
I would say that you're about 10 feet away from this area where there's a small clearing of some wood that has been chopped. Do you proceed into that small area of clearing?
Well, yeah, it feels like I'm 10 feet away. What do do I see an axe? Do I see a person? Do I see
there's
a shed?
There's an axe there. There's chopped wood. There is a 2-person saw, like each person on each side, a manual long saw for cutting big logs. And there is a splitting axe, a short little stumpy log where there is a piece of wood sitting there and the axe is on top of that. And that's all you see there is.
I feel like Hogan would be like, stop. Let me look at the footprints. Can I do like a survival check to look at footprints or like what's been going on in this space?
Yeah.
Oh, that's only an 8.
There's too many footprints around there for you to be able to tell. Someone has been here chopping wood, and they've come here several times to chop wood.
But I get the feeling, but there could have been more than one, right? It's too hard to tell.
It's too hard to tell.
Yeah, I'll whisper that there could be more than one person about.
Do we want to pursue this person or head to town?
We're already here. We must find a way to figure out what would hurt Strahd. We're already here. Let's just figure it out.
But did you say you saw a wolf? What did you see exactly?
Yeah, Robbie, I thought it was a wolf, right?
Yes, the behind of a wolf walking around a jagged rock edge.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Well, do you think that wolf dragged a person away? Or do you think a person became that wolf?
I think it was a... That's a good point. Maybe I think it's just that wolf. I think it's a wolf. I saw a wolf. I think we can take a wolf, guys. I think someone or other needs to grow up here, and I think we need to just go into the clearing.
Wasn't Ismark talking about wolves that walked on their hind legs like people? Like werewolves and stuff?
Yes, but I didn't see that.
All right.
Ismark will when he's there with you guys, he would say, "Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard of that strange tales. That, of course, it could just be things that scare children at night. You never know. But I've never seen a wolf walk on its hind legs unless there's some type of trainers training him with a treat." Is Mark still there with you guys? Still hanging out with you guys? He's done pretty good on his stealth checks. What do you guys do next?
I guess I would walk around that corner to where the wolf went.
Yeah. I would just say like, well let's check it out and then get out of here.
And I would exchange my bow for my sword.
So about the tree line, you guys go about it and you navigate yourselves over to that cliffside. As you walk up there where Gunny has seen the wolf go, next to those jagged rocks, you guys go there, and then as you're looking up, you can see an entranceway to a cave. But the only issue is there's no place for you to be able to tie a rope to and climb up there or anything. It's going to be very difficult to climb up to there.
How high is it? Or how far away is it from where we can get?
About 45 feet.
I've got my magical rope of climbing that we could use to get up to that hole, but do we really want to put our faces in a wolf's den right now?
What was that lady's name that told us all that shit?
Madam Eva.
Madam Eva. Isn't that one of the clues that Madam Eva gave us?
I see a black hole in stone, leading toward captives around towering blades.
Yes.
I'll look around. Do I see anything that makes me think of towering blades?
Aren't we at a mountain?
The jagged rocks. The jagged rocks.
How jagged are these rocks, Robbie?
Scale of 1 to 10. Go.
They're not blade shaped.
Are they towering blade shaped?
No, not towering blade shaped.
I don't know. I still think this is it.
I think so too.
A black hole in stone.
All right, then.
yes.
Ismark will overhear you guys talking. He will put his input and say, now, a black hole in stone, that can mean anything. There are houses made of stone. There's, of course, caves are made of stone. There's black hole in stone, that could be anything. Just because you see the first black hole doesn't mean you should jump into it, because no one black holes, you might not be able to escape from it.
Now, this family wouldn't be here if I didn't dive into any dark holes.
Mm.
Ignore that.
Nope. Let's
You know,
stay in for
I was
sure.
wanting to say a joke about that, but I did not. I held back.
I'm shaking my head after my grandfather said that, and I pull out of my bag. It looks like a jungle vine. I kind of throw it up towards that hole, and it's really a rope of climbing. And I say,
By the blood of Hogan, follow my command.
and I throw the rope up towards the hole, and if there's anything up there for it to grab onto, it would grab onto and actually like kind of become solid like wood almost.
It's pretty tight.
It was a gift from my mother.
Ismark, he'll kick the dirt a little bit. He'll kick a rock, and he'll tell you guys, I'm going to head to the city. This isn't my quest here. I will be on the trail if you happen to catch up with me. If not, I'm going to head into town.
Wait, can you just like protect our horses or something, or give us a few minutes?
Who's actually none of us are really charisma characters, huh?
No, but please, it would help us greatly. Remember, I made you that delicious pizza.
Yeah, roll with advantage, Matt. Good old persuasion check.
So I have +0. I rolled a 10 and a 9.
I'll stay and guard your mounts for you, but I'll give you 30 minutes, but only if I can take one of the rams with me to town, after I wait 30 minutes for you.
I turn to my party and say, that's a shitty deal. No way.
What? You guys can double up on a ram? Come on! Or someone could ride on the back of my horse. It's not a big deal. Ismark could be our guide here. He's our friend.
All right. So I turn to him and I say, okay, if after 30 minutes we're not there, you can take the male ram, the boy one.
He will nod his head at Hogan, noting that you called him a friend, and then he will nod his head at Gunny, and he will take 2 steps backwards, not turning his back towards you, and then he'll do a 180 and start jogging very quietly down the hillside to where you guys left your mounts.
Is your ram a female? Did you just
Mine
offer
is,
up
yeah.
my ram? Oh, okay.
I did, and you didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
He's got bad memory, right? New memories aren't
It's
forming
like-
for him.
Wait a second here.
That's what you get when you play a character that can't form new memories and is, sundowning every episode.
Sounds like a good deal. Let's go. I climb that rope.
I climbed that rope first.
I let them fight over climbing it first, and I go third.
Hogan, do you push Tolkien out of the way? Chuck, do you let that happen? Does Tolkien let
It's
that
not
happen?
even. Hogan's not gonna let that happen. Like, you got this guy in metal armor, and I'm standing right next to the rope. Like, in no world does Tolkien get up to the top first, or do I let him get up to the top first?
Okay. You guys all focused on climbing up there one by one. And then, as you guys are up on this entranceway to a cave, you all 3 are done climbing, you're tired. You turn around and you see the entrance to the cave. Carved into the side of a rocky mountain spur. It is wide. There's porches on each side of the cave wall going down. But the entrance to the cave looks like a gaping maw of a great wolf. And I would note, I do not have anything to describe as a towering blade for you guys. I feel like I'm giving too much.
I mean, the maw of a wolf, right? It's got big teeth. Clearly, we've got to be in the right place.
Yeah, this has to be it.
Yeah, it's got a big mouth, right? We got blades all around us, like teeth. It's a towering mountain. That's probably good enough for Hogan and Thomas.
Absolutely. A black hole in stone. So Gunny will say, there almost has to be some captives in there.
I grab my sword and I say,
Rage Springer.
as it bursts into white hot flames.
Can we step to the edge of the cave and listen? Because we gotta shit's gotta be echoing out of the cave, maybe, right?
Sure.
I do that.
I just light my sword then, just for the light, and then we wait for a second.
What is that? Perception or what is it for hearing? Investigation.
You can do both, or whatever one you prefer. It's fine.
Usually it's perception, I think, for hearing.
13 plus 3, 16.
You hear things walking around down there, and there may be some grunting of dogs down here.
I hear something moving and some grunting of dogs.
I'll also pull out my blade, a rapier, and I will also light it ablaze. And I do think it's quite funny that Casey and I both pick something that does that. I will say Nino ne lineth lasona, which means in Elvish, may my blade sing sweetly.
Dork.
And it'll light and it'll light up.
Rage Springer's way cooler.
Well, let's hope I don't have to use this.
I shake my sword and say,
I can't wait to use this.
Why don't you wait to decide before we figure out what is guarding these captives? There should be some captives in here. Let's find out what they are and who they're guarding. And also, we need to keep an eye out for whatever Strahd doesn't want us to find in here. We don't even know what it is, do we? I don't think the clues that give it an idea of what we're actually looking for, do they?
So it says, the black hole in stone leading towards captives around towering blades is a card that tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope.
Okay.
So we're looking. That's what we're looking for. If that's where we think we are.
I don't see how it could be any of the rest of these now that we're there. I mean, we saw the tree, but I feel like that was just... Well, I mean, that one's still kind of... Find the avenue leading to a peak with a tree with one nut. Look for the nut. I don't
There's
know.
too many trees and not enough nuts.
Yeah,
Wait,
are we guys going to
is
talk
he
about
the
this
nut?
right now? I feel like you guys are invested, are already invested into this, and I don't feel like you can go back yet.
Yeah, no.
Except D's nuts.
Yeah, we
Nope.
just lit our weapons, and I guess we'll... I don't know how much we can sneak with our weapons lighting the way, but as much as we can, I guess.
What were you saying? Is he the nut? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you. Your face was on that guy, and you're a nut.
Oh.
But you chose
Am I
not to
the
tell
nut?
us, and no one searched it. So, oh well, it is what it is.
I searched the body. I found a
All right,
golden
all right.
king chess piece.
All right, well, maybe that's
So maybe I
something.
have
don't know.
something that maybe we've already got it. You're right. We might
I'm
have
just
it.
saying. We
That
may
could
or may
be.
not. I don't know.
That could be a holy
That's pretty
symbol of
clever.
great hope. Robbie's just like holding his face and
Can't
his
see Robbie's
palms,
face. When we get back to town, I'll look at
shaking
that
back
piece.
and forth. Oh, it's hopeless. We're lost.
Everything to you guys is seems to be a clue for those
Uh-huh.
kind of stuff. Is
Yeah, everything is. We're digging deep. Yes. So, but we enter the cave and we go deeper with our weapons drawn.
okay. This
All right.
canopy in this cave is about 20 feet high, and the entrance is 20 feet wide. So your swords, Casey, since your sword is lit, there are torches on the side wall, so it's not really lighting up too much. But here, as you guys start walking forward, the cave splits to the left and right. But standing on a 5-foot high ledge between the divide are two feral-looking women wearing shredded clothing and clutching spears. They see you already as you're coming in, as they're guarding the entrance to their den. One female steps her left foot back, arching her head forward and tilting her head backwards. She lets out a "Ow!" as the other one next to her goes "Ow, ow, ow!" And to the left side, you guys hear several other wolves starting to stand, and they begin to start coming at you guys. The two females that are up there, they start shape-shifting to your guys' left side. Looks to be about 9 wolves coming towards you.
Fine.
Whoa.
What do you guys do?
9 wolves.
I don't have anything like fancy and crowd controlling. So are we rolling for initiative? What's going on here?
Hang on one second.
I want to know what you guys are doing before we roll for initiative. I'll just give you guys the opportunity to do anything you want to do.
So we walk in. The women see us. They go, ow, ow, ow. And they start turning into wolves. And then we hear more wolf like howls down the left.
Yes, they sounded an alarm. And now all the wolves in their den know you're here. And now they're charging toward the entrance to their den.
And they're turning into werewolves, basically.
The two females were humans, and they are turning into wolves. But there are 9 other wolves onto the left side where it breaks off, and those are already wolves. They don't have to shapeshift.
I mean, I assume I'm in the front and I have my giant 2-handed greatsword, and I'm doing some spins and some flips, and the fire is, whirling around the blades.
Gunny starts breathing really heavily and whispering to herself in a language, unless you guys understand Elven, you probably don't understand. And in like the sand, like dusty sand around our feet, I start making a circle around us.
I understand Elvish.
I do too.
I am saying something along the lines of, "Forgive me, ancestors, for what I am about to do, and protect us from this spell."
So you guys are going to stay there? Is basically what I'm hearing. If we're going to stay
hold
there,
our ground. I'm going to pull out my warhammer and clank it on my shield and say, "Let them come." Boom, boom, boom.
Oh boy. All right, let's roll for initiative, gentlemen.
12 for Hogan.
A 19 for Tolkien, Thunder Guy.
11 for Gunny.
Okay, Tolkien, you're up first.
I will whisper to them, "Stay within the circle."
So since Gunny said to not move or anything, I will post up and I will once again, at the current moment, I'm beating my warhammer on my shield, and then I will hit it one more time, and I will cast Spirit Guardians. And you just start to see these. It looks like my old man cane floating, like little little old men canes, just like floating around with the tennis balls on the end, just hovering around us to protect us. And it is a 15-foot radius. So I don't know how close those 2 wolf women are.
Those ones are pretty far back, but this pack of 9 is coming at you fast.
All right, when they enter when they get within 15 feet of us, they will have to make wisdom saving throws.
All right, just remind me. All right, Hogan, you're up. The wolves, 40 feet away, charging in fast. The 2 ladies are up on that 5-foot high cliffside before the cave forks. What do you do?
I'm going to stand inside that circle and inside the spirit guardians, but still between my team and the wolves, with my sword kind of up high in a striking position, and I am going to ready an action to strike the first wolf that comes into my range.
All right, Gunny, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let it rip on a level 3 spell slot, which is my highest level. We're gonna go ahead and cast Summon Lesser Demons. You utter foul words, summoning demons from the Great Abyss. Roll on the following table to determine what appears. So you're gonna actually have to, unfortunately, as the DM, figure out what these are gonna be. I'll help you if you want. But so I'm gonna roll, and then demons are gonna appear in a place of my choosing, and those demons cannot enter the circle that I put around us. So they're basically they would harm us if they have the opportunity to do so, but they cannot enter the circle that I put around us.
Yeah, what do these demons look like?
Well, that's the part I need your help with. Unfortunately, as the DM, you're gonna pick. So I roll a d6 and I got a 5, and it says that it's 8 demons of challenge rating 1/4 or lower. So
1/4 is fine. Are you going to keep
right.
track of all these demons, Matt, and their HP, or do you mean to? Let's let you do that.
Unfortunately, I don't control them. They're like complete. They're chaos. Like they just come in and start attacking whatever they possibly can, which is everything but us. So if I was you, I would just. I don't know how tough these wolf guys are. I would just have them go a couple rounds and roll some dice and see what comes out on top, I guess. But
The wolves are up next. They start charging in. There is a bigger wolf in the center of this first set. They have organized themselves into 3 wolves coming at you in a V pattern. The center wolf is the bigger one. You see him snapping his jaws at the wolf that's on his left and right as he gets them in position to form the V pattern. And they come in and they start attacking those demons that you summon. And they are doing a great job of ripping them apart. And after they do that, they circle back around to the back of their pack. And then the next set of 3 wolves, they start charging in. This one, the center one, is not as big as that first one was. And this one is coming in, they're coming in faster, and that center one's not trying to snap at the other ones, get them in line. These guys are more skilled, as in they're not younger pups that need to be put into line. And they come in and they swoop across and they kill even more of those demons. One of the wolves gets hit on the heel with his foot as you hear him whimper, and he falls behind in that second pack that ran through. And then they circle back around to the back of the pack. And then the third pack comes running down. And they do the same thing with the demons. And then they circle back around to the back. As you guys look at these wolves, they have taken out 80% of the demons. The lead wolf, that big one, he starts howling through the air as his howl echoes in the cavern that you guys are in. Another one responds to it, then another deeper inside the cave. And this huge wolf in front of you guys, you see his eyes. They're all staring at you, hungry, as those torch lights behind you reflect into their pupils. And they start licking their chomps. We're back to the top of the order of Tolkien.
Did any of them, while they were fighting the demons, enter my spirit guardians?
I was picturing the demons outside the spirit guardians.
Okay.
Would that be okay to assume, Matt?
Yeah, I was trying to so I pictured them like charging us, like all the wolves charging us, and I kind of put the demons like right in front of them, basically as like a shield between us. They had 18 hit points each, just FYI. Their abyssal wretches are 1/4. CR, and they can do 1d8 plus 1 damage, just FYI. But yeah, I put them in between us, so I doubt anything got too close to us. That's my guess.
Yeah, Chuck, just we'll say the wolves charge through your spirit guardians. You can give me that damage for that, and I'll take it off all.
You make a wisdom saving throw. I was just curious if they went through or not.
Yeah, we'll say they went through. They're just go ahead and roll that damage, and I'll average it out. What does it affect if they run through there and they fail the wisdom save? Is it just their speed is reduced?
No, I mean it does damage to them.
Also, it would do double the damage if they fail?
If it's so I rolled it's 3d8 radiant damage. So I rolled got a 15, it's 15 damage. If the save is a wisdom saving throw of 14, so if they pass it, it's half as much. Or it's half of 15, but if they fail, it's 15 damage. And that's like every time I believe that they enter this circle.
Okay, it's your turn. What do you do?
I'm going to cast Shatter. So now that they're outside of the Spirit Guardian circle, I'm going to just stay where I'm at. And I'm going to cast are the wolves all bunched up on one another, or are they kind of spread out?
They're in sets of 3. So if you want to cast Shatter and hit, you can hit the max of 3.
I'm going to cast Shatter, and I'm going to cast it on the point centered on the largest wolf, and like the 2 smaller ones right next to him. Just needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
You failed.
It's 9 damage. So you just see me like just kind of like clap my hands together, and it just kind of like this like aura of like sound just kind of like pulses towards them, and it just kind of makes a very loud like bang sound as soon as it hits the large wolf, and you just does 9 damage.
Okay, Hogan, you're up.
And so, Chuck, wait, which group did you hit? Did you hit the one with the big wolf?
The big wolf, yeah.
So I'll hear that pop. And during all of that scramble with the demons and the wolves, was that just one round, or did I have a second there to like switch out? I put my sword in the ground and grab my bow. I'm not clear on that.
I thought you were readying your action to hit one of the wolves, but I felt like none of them came close enough to you guys.
Yeah, that's what I did in my last turn, but it felt like there were multiple turns when the wolves and the demons all fought. Or was that just one turn?
That was just one turn.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were waiting for like a bunch of things to happen.
I kind of just narrowed it down and made it real short that the wolves were killing these demons. I was kind of narrowing it down kind of short. The wolves,
I understand.
they do
killing
they are a
Matt's
little
level
hurt.
3 spell slot. We're giving them everything, and you're just reducing it all to 0. I understand how this works.
I got shit on big time.
Yeah,
Sorry.
big time dookie on Matt's spell. So I will switch. I mean, I guess this turn, really, I'll just switch to my longbow, right? Like, there's no one that's even in range or that can get to me in range at this point. And I'd like to stay in this circle, so I'll just use my action to switch out my weapons. Right? Is that what it takes to switch weapons?
Does it really? That seems like a lot.
It does.
If so, we've been pretty loosey-goosey on that in the past, I'll be honest.
If it's a bonus action, I mean, I'll Robbie, it's up to you. What is it to switch out to my longbow? Bonus action?
We'll let it do a bonus action since you think I'm being unfair here.
I'm just giving you shit.
No, you're fine. I mean, this spell is buying you guys time, if anything. The wolves have not even started attacking you guys yet.
Yeah, no, it has helped us. It has helped us for sure. Like Matt's spell was not in vain. I'm being mean. So I will use my bonus action to switch to my longbow, and then I will fire 2 shots. Not actually at the big guy, but I want to pick off one of the little guys that's next to him that got hit by that shatter spell. Since I get 2 attack actions against one of them, I'll actually do the old Hogan special where I notch 2 arrows at once. And the first one is a 1 + 6.
Hey.
And it's a 7. And the second one will be a 2 + 6. See, I'm using the D&D Beyond dice. Why does it shit on me but rain on Chuck? This doesn't make sense.
I mean.
But yeah, I guess that's my turn.
Hey, are you sure? Are we sure we want to be in this cave?
I feel like the dungeon master's throwing some red flags at us.
Well, it's too late now.
Gunny, you're up. Your demons are still scattered about. They're chasing these wolves down.
I'm going to shoot a firebolt at the big one. The big wolf.
All right, roll it.
Got a 15 to hit.
Hit.
Wow. 2d10, 3 damage.
Yikes.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'll whisper to the group, wolves rely on a pack master to give them direction. Take down the big one.
Ah.
Okay, the wolves are up. They do the same thing. The big one's in this middle of the first pack coming toward there. Just 3 of them, and this first charging V. And they start fighting with those demons. And Hogan, you're pretty sure that alpha, as he's fighting and ripping these demons apart, as these demons start jumping on these wolves' backs, stabbing the wolves in the back, you're pretty sure that alpha is staring at you as it grabs a demon and just chucks it toward the side of the cave wall. After these first 3 wolves do some fighting, they sprint off again back into the back line and let the next 3 set of wolves charge forward. As you hear fighting and dogs squeaking and demons doing whatever demon sounds they do of demon and laughter of praise stabbing.
Are the demons
And then
getting
this-
any hits in on these wolves?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, you can see some of these bloodied wolves. They're not too bloodied, but you do see them as they're squeaking. You can imagine they're getting stabbed as the next set goes back there. And then the third set goes forward and does the same thing. And then goes back as they stand back at their formation pattern of circling you guys, of 3 at a time, circling and attacking and attacking and attacking. There's one demon left, and it starts running toward those packs of wolves. And that big one, that alpha, he just looks at it, lifts his paw, and stomps on it and squishes it. Then he raises his head and starts glaring at you guys. A couple of the wolves are laying down on the ground, no longer in formation. Tolkien, you're up.
So some of the wolves have died, or are they just taking a rest? I'm going to cast, let's see here. I'm going to actually cast a guiding bolt at the large wolf. I'm just going to like swing my warhammer forward, and you just see a streak of lightning fly in the direction of the wolf. And does a 22 hit that wolf?
22 hits that wolf.
Ooh, I had awesome. 24 radiant damage on his ass.
Wow.
You hit this wolf with this radiant light, and it just starts burning him as you create this bald spot on his fur. As the cave now smells like burnt wolf fur. He looks around at you guys, and you can see blood starting to come from his mouth. That is his own blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Hogan, you're up.
All right. I see that bright flash, and I think that's my target. And I roll once, and I get a 3. 1, 2, then 3. Really?
Now, wait,
Really,
you have
D&D
advantage.
Beyond?
Wow.
Wait, Casey, you have
Oh.
advantage because I hit him with the guiding bolt.
Okay.
Next attack roll made against this target before the end of my next turn has advantage, thanks to the mystical dim light glittering on the target until then.
Okay, that next roll's a 5, so we're up to 11. So we've gone 1, 2, 3,
Wow.
5. All right, I'm rolling. Okay, I'm going to fire my second arrow. I'm assuming 11 does not hit that wolf, right?
11 does not hit.
Okay, I'm going to roll 2. like real old-fashioned classic physical dice here. Okay, all right. We got a 12 plus a 6. That's an 18.
Hit.
1d8 plus 5. Hey, there we go. That's an 8 plus 5, 13.
There it is.
13 damage to the big mean wolf man.
So is an arrow that you shot at him?
Yep.
So you hit him with this arrow, and he falls down. His back legs fall down, but he's still standing up with his front legs. Gunny, you're up.
So all the demons are dead, am I right?
Yes, all the demons are gone.
Well, let's go ahead and see if we can snag a witch bolt on him now that I've got some concentration back in my life. So I'm going to holster my sword and shoot lightning out of my fingers, and hopefully I will hit him. This is at the alpha. Oh yeah, that looks good. 26 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Nice.
Ooh. 28 damage.
Whoa, holy shit.
Describe your
Hell
kill.
yeah.
Oh, you see cartoonish, like bright light shoot on like all over his body, and just like a cartoon, you can see like his inner skeleton like sizzle as his like outside flesh just melts away.
Holy shit, sis.
And yeah, I kind of like look at my fingers and they like crackle with electric power, and I like raise my eyebrows like holy crap.
I thought you liked dogs.
I don't know. I felt very much in danger. I'm not sure what just happened.
You guys are speaking. The wolves kind of align themselves to guard the rest of their entrance to prevent you guys from going in any further of their den. They're all still staring at you, growling.
Are we still in initiative?
Yes, you're still in initiative. And I'm trying to see if werewolves can talk in in wolf form. Can they talk in wolf form?
I don't believe so. I mean, just the physical part of it, like just like dogs, they're not. Their mouth isn't made to like have syllables and stuff. So that's actually why I was going to ask that question. I was going to see if we could parlay a little bit here.
Scooby-Doo disagrees.
Yeah. It's like Scooby Doo can talk. You Shaggy? This is our time to get our Scooby Doo jokes in.
Yeah, there's a pack of 3 wolves that were getting ready to charge in there, but after noticing that this bigger wolf has fallen, they've halted their movement. They've looked to have gone into a more of a defensive stance. There's the other 3 wolves mending their wounds as they're laying down, and the other pack of 3 wolves, they're aiding their master, licking his wounds. Not master, licking and aiding this bigger wolf that is down.
So are we out of combat right now?
You are not out of combat, but these wolves are not pursuing towards you guys. They are standing there and guarding the entrance to their den.
But they're not attacking us. They're in a defensive stance.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Actually, I think Hogan might yell.
The leader is down. Charge.
Oh shit. Okay.
Before Tolkien's turn. I don't know whose turn it is, Robbie.
Wait, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's Tolkien's turn right now. Yeah.
Yes. So I'll yell that once that leader drops.
Do we think that the leader is, so they're not attacking us though. They went into a defensive stance and they're trying to, the leader's down. What do we know about werewolves? Do we know anything about werewolves?
You can roll.
Well, our characters know what I roll about the.
I don't know. It depends on which way you're coming at it.
I don't know. I was
Which
just
is like
thinking
your
of,
history?
You know what? Honestly, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take. I'm not going to cast, since they're in a defensive stance. I'm actually just going to take my warhammer and like slam it down on the ground, and I'm going to cast thaumaturgy, and my voice is just going to I'm going to have my voice boom up to 3 times louder than normal. And I'm just going to say, change, towards the wolf to get him to change into his human form. And I'll just start to slowly walk forward. And if he does not change, I will step close enough to them where my spirit guardians will start attacking them.
Okay, your change echoes down through these caverns. You hear it echo so far that it eventually comes back to you just as loud. The wolves curl their ears, and as it's so loud, it's hurting their ears.
Do they change?
You can see one that is starting to attempt to change. Hogan, you're up.
Oh, wait. If they don't change, I walk close enough where my spirit guardians beat the shit out of them.
Okay,
So-
it's going to take them an action to change.
Okay. All right, never mind. So they're starting to change. All right, I'll if I see them starting to change, I will hold off.
Chuck, are you starting to step forward a little bit with your spirit guardians?
I'll start to step forward, but I will stop.
Okay. Well, I will. Shit, if they're changing, I kind of want to like talk to them and stuff. I don't want to just murder all of them. So I guess this turn I will put my bow away, take out my sword, say Rage Springa again, and just follow Tolkien and be in front of him. Wait, actually, that's 2 bonus actions. So I'm just going to switch out to my sword. I don't want to cheat here. I'll just switch back to my sword, and I'll ready an action to have, in case one of those wolves approach, to attack it, but staying within the Guardian Storm in front of Tolkien, between Tolkien and the wolves. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Gunny, you're up.
Yeah, I think we're holding off to try and talk, which is kind of what I wanted to do also. So I will ready an action, and if they try to attack us, I will firebolt whichever one comes closest to us. That's it.
Okay, you guys are standing in the entrance to this wolf's den. It's 20 feet wide. Tolkien is there with his spirit guardian circling around him, which is 15 feet wide. At the edge of those spirit guardians, ready to be in range, is 3 wolves. And beyond that is a bigger wolf with 2 other wolves next to that one. And then up and to the right is another set of 3 wolves licking their own wounds. The 2 ladies that were up top above that 5-foot cliff, she changed back into a human form. You see her now. She is of darker complexion and has tethered clothes on of leather. She walks forward to the edge of that 5-foot cliff, and she barks to you guys. Get out of our home. You've done enough damage. Get out.
Like you said, guys, we have no charisma. Who wants to tackle this?
I'm -1. Who's got the lowest? I'm -1.
I'm 0.
You know what? I have persuasion.
Oh,
Well,
You're our
just
guy.
that's it. That's all.
I
That's
do have
all
a
I
plus-
got.
I do have a +2 persuasion as well, but
And I will yell,
We've come to this place looking for a powerful force of good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. Is it hiding in this dark place?
She'll say to you, there are no holy symbols of great hope in this place. We only serve Strahd out of fear.
We look for a holy symbol to take down Strahd. Are you saying you only serve him out of obligation and fear for your own existence, sister?
That was our way. It may change now as she looks down at the corpse of that bigger wolf.
Wait. Are you pack leader?
You asked her if she was the pack leader?
Yeah. Just I noticed her looking at the big guy.
She was hinting to you that he was the leader, and now he's fallen. And so you asked that, and she will be, we're about without an alpha.
I'll nudge Hogan. Like, elbow him in the side.
What?
They need an alpha. You're the biggest creature in this cave.
I'm no wolf, sister, but we'll see if what happens.
And I'm clearly whispering that. Kind of under my breath, hopefully the wolves won't hear us, but who knows with their ears.
Well, I'm big and I'm tough. And if you're only serving Strahd out of obligation, well, sister, we can stop that obligation, 'cause Strahd has something I want. And I'm not gonna let him not breathe another not breath until he's dead.
I'm just trying to sound like a tough guy and be like, hey, I also hate this dude too. Hopefully she's picking up on my anti-Strahd vibes.
What do you know of Strahd?
You are not of our kindred. You are not of our kind. You cannot lead us. We are prepared to fight to the death, if it be that way.
When you say not of your kind, how do you become a werewolf? Can he become a werewolf? Can someone get bit by a werewolf to become a werewolf?
I mean, I thought about going that route.
It's your campaign, dude.
Yeah, but I mean,
what does she say when he asks that though? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to answer him. She wouldn't answer you. So I guess she wouldn't want that to get out. So she would just she would be silent with you after you asked that. There are no holy symbols in this place.
Tell me,
Hmm.
do you know any wizards in this realm?
If I tell you, will you leave and never return?
Indeed we shall.
All right, give me a minute to find something in the book.
Can I do a check on her to see if I think she's lying when she says that there's no holy symbols? Insight is what that is.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh boy. A crit. 20 plus 4, 24.
Ooh. She's
Nice.
not lying to you. She's fearing for her life and the life of her pack. She's not going to lie to you right now.
It's because I got that crackling lightning on my finger still.
Hey, ask her about how to become a werewolf.
I don't know if Hogan's interested in becoming a werewolf. I wouldn't ask that unless...
yeah,
Well,
Hogan is not.
I'm not offering him to become a werewolf. I'm just curious how you become a werewolf, because she said he's not one of their kind. So maybe she's saying if someone becomes one of their kind or is one of their kind, they would follow that person.
It's going to take me a minute to find this story here. Feel free to read a review.
While he's looking for that story, why don't we read a review?
Oh, yeah. This one is from Yoda Brady. It says, Best Podcast of All Time is the title. Wow. A lot to live up to. I know,
Wow.
right?
Thanks, Brady
Yeah.
Yoda.
Yeah, it says, This is by far the best podcast I have ever listened to, and I listen to a lot. Crit Sandwich has become the perfect amount of meat, cheese, and condiments needed to call it perfect. It's entertaining and keeps me listening all day long. I've never DM'd a D&D campaign before, but after listening to the first season, I gathered my own group and ran a session. Thank you all so much for doing what you love and making me feel like I'm right there with you all playing. Keep it up. I would say that's the biggest thing that we get, and it's honestly the one that makes me most happy. A lot of people say that they can feel like they're here with us, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, thank you so much for that review. And
Thank you so
if
much.
If you're listening, please leave us a review, especially on Apple Podcasts. That is the hot place where we really need to grow.
Thanks, Yoda Brady.
Okay, I did not find it in the book, but I will wing it.
Paraphrase.
So you ask the location of a powerful mage, and she would tell you that I've heard stories of one of the wolves in my pack. We've seen a great, powerful wizard with 7 other people attacking Strahd. The wizard failed in his attempt to kill him, and his body was cast into the lake Alpsea. I do not know if he survived his wounds or not, but I would assume he's around the Lake Alpsea.
And his name. I asked for his name.
His name is Morden Cadence.
Whoa.
When Gunny says, whoa, I say,
No meta.
Modern Cadence. I've never heard of the name before.
Anyone that has studied the arcane arts would know his name. He's created some of the greatest spells ever created.
And ma'am,
I speak back to the werewolves talking to us.
what may we call you?
You can call me Kirk.
You say Kurt or Kirk?
Kirk, like Captain Kirk.
I thank her and slowly start backing up out of the cave.
This was a bust. I mean, I guess we got some info, but shit.
These are the like we need to. Maybe we weren't supposed to fight them, or maybe we should have done something first before getting into the scuffle. But these are the captives being held in the cave. They're being held captive by Strahd. We're in the right spot.
No.
We just effed up.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They're
yes.
not captives.
He just
Well,
said
the
that
DM's saying no, so wrong.
Oh, he's changing his story as we go. He's changing, and I know that these are the captives. We're in
They're
a
not
black
captives.
hole, a black hole in stone leading towards captives. She just said that that they
Unfortunately-
fight for Strahd against their will or whatever, right? Isn't that being held captive against your will, right?
No. They
Makes
can leave
sense to
whenever they
me.
want to.
I think we're
I
in a
don't know.
black hole in stone. There are captives here. There's blades in the mouth of
Thank
the
you.
wolf.
All right.
It all
No,
checks
I
out.
told you.
As you guys
It
look
all
around
checks
on board
out
with
to
all
in the
that.
Hogan.
cave, there are no cages in the cave as you guys look around, okay?
Yeah.
But
I'm
Strahd
thinking
is
captive
like,
in cage.
All right, let's get out of here and rush back to Ismark. I don't know how long
yeah,
it's
it's
been.
like it's 28 minutes. I'm running really quick. I don't want to lose my RAM.
Ismark!
Ramsey!
Ismark!
Yeah, as you guys start running down there, you climb the rope down there, and Gunny, you notice that there is a younger wolf following you.
I say to the team, we have one following us.
Just one.
Just one. I'll stop and turn around and I'll say, catch Ismark. I'll see what it wants.
yeah, if it's just one, I'll keep running ahead and let Gunny talk to that thing.
Okay. So Gunny, it doesn't really get too close to you, but it's not hiding from you. So there's like an opening area, and it turns its body sideways and just starts staring off in the distance at nothing in particular, not staring at you. Because I believe when a wolf would stare at you, it's a challenge. So this dog is making sure it's not making eye contact with you.
I'll say, what can I help you with? I thought you when we were leaving and we were trying to be nice.
It changes into a 9-year-old boy. It was a kind of smaller pup, more smaller than the other ones that you've seen that were fighting you. And it changes into a 9-year-old little boy, and he's wearing this ragged leather across his waist. When he transforms, he's in a kneeling position, and he stands up and says to you, "We don't know what's happening back there at the pack. We won't know what's happening. But I have always followed who is the strongest.
And who would that be?
He nods his head at you, the one that gave the killing blow to the Alpha.
What?
I'll tell him we plan on fighting Strahd because we want to free this place and also save our mom. I'll be honest with you. But we think we can help this world be a better place. Do you think that you can help us maybe down the road?
I'll follow you when I can, and I'll learn by watching you guys, and I'll follow you in the woods. But if I can help, I will help.
Stay safe and learn. What is your name, young one?
Do you have a name, Matt?
Yes, I can come up with a name, which will be an elven
Ralph.
word named Young Wolf. No, you
It's
get your own
Ralph.
cool things, and you get no names, Chuck. Stop it. You stop
It's Ralph. My name's Ralph, sir.
His name will be Gwynyon.
Oh, it's a terrible name. Gwynyon, Matt's little minion. Nah.
He shapeshifts back into a medium-sized pup of a wolf, and he goes into the woodline, and you don't see him anymore. And as you begin walking back, you can tell that he is keeping his distance, but he's staying around you.
Cool.
So you guys all three get back to your horses. Ismark is there waiting for you guys, and you guys look pretty sweaty, but you don't have any blood on you. He'll reply with, "Was it a tough climb?"
Indeed.
He'll hold out a flagon of water for you guys, and he'll give you guys some water.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to tell him about any of the wolf and werewolf stuff at this moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Seems like there wasn't anything important in that cave. At least, not what we're looking for. Let's get moving. We should have listened to our DM.
We were in the right spot. We did the right thing.
So from here, you guys can go to the east, which is the Alpsea, or you can head north to a church. If you're heading toward the town hall, the residential living area, that's where Ismark wants to go. He's been wanting to go. You can either go to the Alpsea or the church.
So we know that wizard was attacked at the Alpsea, right? He was with 7 others and fought with Strahd. So let's go through that way.
You go to the west to the Alpsea. So you guys get there. It takes you about 10 minutes to ride over there. And you can see this beautiful clear water lake. You can't tell how deep it is, but you can see clear to the bottom. And it's really hard to tell how deep it is. The trail continues up further north to the business area where the water factory is at. And there's also the trail will go to the residential living area where the town hall is at. But you guys can take it in of this lake being here. And the trees, they start a steady climb up the slopes of the mountain here next to the Alpsea. And you can see where the river comes down as this fresh water melts from the snow in the mountains and comes down into this lake. And you see a trail. You actually see a trail that is not on your map. You guys see a trail leading up the mountain, what once was an apple orchard. What do you guys do?
What do you mean? It was an apple orchard, like in our own memories, or
Yes.
Is this-
yes.
okay.
So, yeah, it can be your own memories. There's an apple orchard up there in the mountains where apples were gathered. But you would assume it once was an apple orchard because if you remember, I described some of the trees as all the leaves have fallen and the trees are now looking dead. So you would assume that the apple trees have died as well.
And I imagine, I mean, it's the beginning of the school year. This is probably a place that we've gone and visited, even, right? Like maybe we went there and got some apples with our mom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, right. This was in our world too.
Yes, in your world too.
Look, all the trees are dead.
Is this maybe a plot of Adam's wine? Apples.
If you remember, Adam's wine is just another name for water.
Oh, right. Never mind then.
Is it one tree or are there multiple trees that are? Did you just say there's one tree up this
No,
trail?
there are multiple apple trees.
Oh, but they're all. Are they chopped down or they're still there?
You can kind of see them further up the mountainside. They're not too big because it's hard for trees to grow up on the mountainside up here. But since they have grown on the rocks, they have made very strong roots. Tracy has said when it comes to grapes and things like that, if the stronger the roots are, the more delicious the fruit is. And so these apple trees are up higher up there, and you do see them, and they have faded in their color, and there are no leaves on the trees.
Did we learn about the king piece at all? Did you tell us about that, Chuck, or no?
I did not.
That's fine. Just classic.
Well, it doesn't make any sense for me to just talk about it right now.
All right. I know. I agree.
But this is an avenue that leads to a peak, and there are trees up there. Should we go up and find a tree with just one apple on it? Would that be our nut?
And we're 10 minutes from where we're actually going with Bismarck, right?
Yes.
I'll say
We're only 10 minutes away from where we're trying to take Bismarck. Let's get him there and then come back soon.
I agree.
I feel like our number one goal is actually to follow Bismarck. I'm sorry, Ismark. Keep saying Bismarck, but just Ismark.
Let's do it. Hey, while we're riding, I'll while we're on our little mounts, I'll say to Ismark, you ever seen this artifact before? And I'll pull out my golden king chess piece and show it to him.
I've not seen that before. It just looks like a chess piece to a board game, and it's gold. Do you have the whole set?
No, I found it in the rubble, in the ash from that body on that tree back there. I wasn't really expecting to find anything, but I found this.
As Tolkien starts showing this chess piece, I assume it's going to grab Hogan's and Gunny's attention.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Gunny, you recognize this chess piece. I would say Gunny doesn't recognize it, but Lila does. Where do you recognize this gold king from?
Well, I'm a chess player, and I love me some chess. And I would say that is probably my favorite set piece, maybe. And it's the gold. It's gold versus silver, and I got it as a gift. It's very fancy.
This king matches that set.
It was a gift from my dad for my birthday, and it was the birthday before he died, and we played it together.
You say that to us?
I don't think I would. I mean, the DM asked me this, so that would have been out of
Would
character.
I know that was a gift that my son gave her?
Not with that memory.
Yeah, not with your memory.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Finders keepers.
You can only remember what happened like pre-1959.
I think it's funny that Matt was giving crap to Chuck about not telling anybody about the chess piece. So then Matt has information he's not telling anybody, which is fine. You guys do
That's
you.
funny.
Well, I haven't been given a chance yet. I only just kind of like saw it and realized it. I think I would though. I would like whisper it, like, "Oh my gosh," like kind of, and then say that this was Dad gave me that.
This piece here.
Yeah, where did you get that? How could you possibly have had that?
I just said I found it back there on that body, the ash from that body.
That's impossible. I've kept that special in my room.
You said your father gave this to you?
Definitely, yeah. I would recognize that piece anywhere. He got it made custom. It's one of a kind.
I'll give it to her. Because I'm her grandpa, and that's what you do. Oh, here, darling.
Okay, Matt, go ahead and take the feet lucky. No, I'm kidding.
Ah.
Okay.
Just like that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. So you guys go into the town. Not only does the town look sad, but it feels sad. And far sadder than your last visit to town with your mother. It's settled in the shadow of the surrounding mountains that you guys just came from. And this town is buried in fog. But it's not as buried to hide from a vampire's sight. As you guys approach the village, you see tall shapes that loom out of the dense fog. The dense fog is surrounding everything. The muddy ground under your foot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. The city layout is the same as you guys as when you three visited during your dinner with your mom. But now everything looks like it's aged 100 years. Wood siding is rotting. The paint is chipped off the buildings. Some of the signs of the businesses are unrecognizable. I'm sorry, there's only a couple businesses in this area, sorry. But these are the houses and the village dwelling. This is where people live at. The village seems more like an old western ghost town than a village that you last remembered. No sounds cut through the silence except for some mournful sobbing you hear that echoes through the streets from a distance. The moaning sobs float through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness. The sounds flow from a dark, 2-story townhouse that's further down the street to the right. There is that pie shop that you guys seen before with your mom, and if you remember correctly, there was a couple police cars that were outside and some police caution tape across the doorway. The police are no longer there, but there is the caution tape there blocking the pie entrance, but the tape has been knocked down. It's kind of hanging from the doorway and hanging down to the ground. And then in the center of the town, there is a well, and there is more police caution tape up around the well. And that is taped up pretty good.
Can Ismark see this stuff? If not, I'm going to ask him in character.
Yeah, you can see the stuff. Yes, he treats it like a city.
Like the caution tape and all that?
Yes, he sees it all. Yes.
Because I know, I think you said last episode, like some things or maybe it was another episode, but I feel like there's things that he doesn't notice. Like when we were in the house, like when he would, I think it was like the washer and dryer or something like that.
Yes, he doesn't really notice too many things like of what would be out of character for someone like in a D&D campaign. So, but for him to see like this old town looking bakery, that's not too much out of it for him to be able to recognize that stuff. Because if we just think about it, like the D&D characters are programmed like video game characters, like they have set things they want to say. But D&D characters, they can say and react with pretty much anything because that's the way D&D works. Is your campaign can be has to be so open. But there are some things that Ismark will react to, like the caution tape and things like that. Yes, he realizes that they're there, but he doesn't do things like a dishwasher, a dryer, and a wash machine, and the heater to your house. He doesn't know anything about those things.
I mean, so we got to town. Did we get Ismark to where he wanted to be? I don't remember that.
He wants to get back to the person that he is protecting, and he has not told you who that is. But the person that he's protecting is in the town hall, which is past this area, more toward the other side of the town. So you guys are coming toward the front of the town right now. As you pass through this area, you will get to the town hall.
That woman, Morning. Does she need help, or is she just like really, really, really sad?
That's Mad Mary. She was in like that for weeks. I've tried to talk to her about it before, and I just can't get anything out of her. Honestly, I have other bigger problems.
All right, then.
What does she look like? Like how old and stuff?
For where you're at, it's going to be hard for you to tell if you want to get closer.
I say we should follow Ismark.
No, I agree. I want to stick with Ismark, but it sounds like we're passing him anyways, or her anyways.
Yeah, you're going to be passing her anyway. So if you guys want to look at any of this stuff as you walk by it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would stare down that house as we're rolling by it, but I'm not going to get off my horse or anything.
Yeah, so just kind of picture like a cowboy western town. There's townhouses on your left and right. As you guys go further down to where you hear those sobbing, you pass the bakery, and then you guys pass the well, and then there's Mary there. She's Mad Mary. This is the woman that Ismark is called Mad Mary. She's in a rocking chair, just walking back and forth. Her head's creeped down, and she's holding something in her arms, like cuddling like a baby. She's just rocking back and forth in a rocking chair.
That woman seems distressed. Should we offer her some help?
Yeah, he said he already tried. And we've come all this way with Ismark. Maybe we should, help him get to his location, and then we can come back for her. It sounds like we have time with her since she's been like this for weeks.
Agreed.
Ismark, I am curious. What happened to this building with all the caution tape? Do you have any idea?
I've never gone in there before.
But has the caution tape been up for a long time? I mean, surely you'd know if it had caution tape or not.
Oh yeah, since I can remember, I've never ventured in there before.
Okay, just curious. All right, yeah, I'm cool with keep following him to his location.
Okay, this is the town hall area, which is the burglar master's mansion. The outside, it's a weary-looking mansion that sits behind a rusty iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right side gate just lies cast aside over in the grass, the dead grass, while the left swings lazily in the wind. And the shuddering and the squeaky clank of the gate just keeps repeating itself with a mindless precision. There's weeds that choke the grounds, that press upon the house itself. Yet against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path up to the house. There's heavy claw marks that are all over this once beautiful finish of the walls of the outside of the house. There's great black marks that tells of fire that have been salting the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window, and all the windows are barred with planks. You guys walk up to the house with Ismark, and Ismark knocks on the door, and he says to it, "It's me." And then on the inside of the house, you hear, "Is it safe to come out?"
Yes.
Is Mark like, "Here, guys, stand back some, stand back up. Whenever he leaves, he needs a little bit of space," and he moves back 20 feet away from the house.
I guess I would back up with him.
"Okay, I'm coming out." And all of a sudden, you guys start hearing music like echoing throughout this area from like the sky and around you, and it's rock and roll music. And you hear an announcer erupt. "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, only half your size, but more of a man than you. When he was born, the doctors didn't say it's a boy. The doctor said it's a man. Slippery when wet, squeaks when you squeeze him, faster than a speeding pug." And the rock song continues. And the sound turns into a crowd cheering that echoes throughout the area. And the door to the house just explodes off, and a bright light shining from the back of the house. And it's standing in front, you see a shadow of a buff halfling doing some flexing poses. As he starts walking forward, fireworks start shooting off. And after that, 2 flamethrowers on each side of him start spraying 15 feet in the air, and the bright light of these flames start illuminating his muscles. And you guys see a hairy halfling in white underwear, super buff and oily, and he says, "Give me fuel, give me fire, give me what I desire." And then the announcer erupts and says, "The youngest son of Hogan the Crusher, it's Teddy Bear."
Isn't that
That's Metallica.
my son's? No, Teddy Bear. Wasn't that the character name of Theodore, my son, and your dad?
Oh, and he's
Teddy
my
bear?
son in this?
Am I correct on that, or am I?
The youngest son of Hogan the Crusher. Oh, shit, I said that wrong.
Oh, no,
Keith,
I'm
which-
Hogan. No, you said that right. Hogan the Crusher is my dad. So he'd be my younger brother.
Oh,
He'd
Hogan
be my
the
youngest
Crusher.
brother. Yes.
Hogan the Crusher is so Theodore, my son. That's his character, but Teddy Bear,
He's my brother.
brother.
Your son, my brother. Your real world child, my fake world brother.
Oh, okay.
Is that clear?
So that
right?
is
Is that right, Robbie?
Yeah.
Very good, gentlemen. Very good.
We
So this is
figured
my
out
son.
your genealogy puzzle.
Yeah, really. He's a halfling though, so only kind of.
He's a halfling. That's what we'll call the episode. Okay, now let's talk about this combat of mad demons. I gave you guys 2 full turns of these demons and wolves fighting.
Yeah,
I do not think Matt wasted a spell slot at all.
No, I was wrong about that, Robbie. I'm sorry. You're right.
No, you're fine.
It did give us a big advantage by the end. It just felt when you first described it, it just felt like all of the wolves just killed all of the demons. I think it was just how you said it the first time around that I thought that like, oh, okay, this is all over. But I didn't realize the wolves. I didn't realize the demons were doing damage. I didn't realize what was going on. I think that was my fault for Clearly, that worked out fine because none of us took any damage.
A werewolf's challenge rating is 3, and they're fighting things that only have, a quarter challenge rating?
Yeah.
Right.
So they're going to tear them apart.
For sure. They weren't. I didn't think they would just win the fight for us or anything.
Yeah, you can remove me being shitty out of there if you want because you definitely proved me wrong.
Well, maybe it was just the way I described the scene to you. Maybe that was just it. Yeah, but
I didn't realize what was happening.
But I was not. That fight did not go the way I expected it to go. I thought you guys were gonna get torn apart. I thought you guys were gonna die.
Police. Police. We had it under control.
If they were all level 3, you probably gifted us
Shit.
one, but that's fine.
Yeah. You let us go safely. Thank you for that.
We didn't
Yeah.
even get touched.
Well, I
Oh.
also wanted to, because if you remember, Tracy said you're going to have to use chess-like tactics to Lila. And so I like that, Matt, you stepped up and said you got to take out the alpha. So that to me was like, ooh, okay. So I'm going to let, I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to let the combat end if the alpha go down. And then you guys started targeting him and freaking hitting him for like 50 damage plus around. And so then I'm like, oh my goodness, he's dead.
Damn. Yeah, that worked out. That worked out in our favor a lot
Yeah.
by the end. At the beginning, it did not feel like it was going to at all.
Yeah. When they just shredded the demons, I was like, hey.